What would you say is a high value man, and what does Andrew Tate get wrong about it?
Oh, okay. Maybe this will get me into hot water. I think that a lot of things that I see online, especially from like the Andrew Tates of the world, when they talk about high value men, they talk about a lot of materialistic things, and whether or not that is the end goal and the root of what they're talking about, the way that they present themselves is like, I'm surrounded by these like Lamborghinis and these Bugattis, and I'm so rich, and I have these suits that are extremely too small and tailored, and it's just terrible. And I'm like sitting in this mansion smoking these cigars, and it's like, that isn't masculinity. Like that, like, and that kind of goes back to that question that young man sent in to me, saying like, I'm not that. Like, I don't really crave that. Like, I hit the gym every day. I'm not, getting some like 12 pack, and I'm not super rich, and I don't sit around with the bros, like smoking cigars, whatever. I think that the Andrew Tates of the world have contributed to an aesthetic and a visual idea of what manhood and high value manhood and the top G mindset or whatever looks like, rather than focusing on what does a good man do? How does he treat the people in his community, in his family? How does he walk through the world? I think that is far more important. Like, at the end of the day, I don't care that, when we started dating, I didn't care that Alex didn't have a Lamborghini and have some mansion or was, sitting around in these like really expensive suits with velvet loafers, whatever. I cared that he was a good person. I cared that he was a leader.
But would you have liked it if he had a Lamborghini?
I don't think it would have changed anything. I might have looked at it and been like, why did you buy that? Like, and it's like some
So
girls...
it would have actually went against
probably.
him.
But that's also just me personally.
What if he had a nice watch?
That would have been fine. Like, that wouldn't have been a turn off, but it also wouldn't. That wasn't something that I was seeking.
You know what I think it is? I think it's the intention behind the purchase. If the intention is to show it off, then it's bad. But if the intention is, I got this cool Lambo because I love it, maybe that would be a little bit different.
For sure. If it's something that it's like, I'm a car guy, or whatever, like, you have guys that, collect Porsches, and it's, you see the like successful, 40-year-old guys, and they have like, they're really interested in this like specific type of car. That's cool. It's like, you are interested in something that wouldn't have been a turn off at all. It's like, okay, you have a hobby and an interest. But if you're walking around presenting yourself, trying to appear like you have this wealth and like you're flashy and like you're a macho dude, or if it's like you work out just for aesthetic purposes and you like spend a ton of time in the gym like flexing and looking at yourself, that's so weird. And it's like, that's not manhood. But
so you're saying if your decisions are dictated by the external environment, or like your internal
or materialistic
state of being
gains,
is determined from that, then that is not good. You should be doing things.
You should be doing them because they're objectively good things, and you should be pursuing good, virtuous things with, I think, good intentions. So it's like, you should go to the gym because you want to be healthy and feel good and be able to protect those that you care about. But in terms of the top G's of the world, like, I don't need your hyper like tailored suits and weird fancy cars and cigars.
It seems like the suits are really the big thing.
Really the loafers. Velvet loafers are just...
Yeah, and so this is just a thing for me. I, 9 times out of 10, I hate it when men don't wear socks with loafers. And there's a specific loafer where it works like the smoking loafer, whatever. And
like
those
a tuxedo loafer?
Yeah, and it's like those, I get it. But when like I see guys out there now who wear like a traditional loafer that my dad might have worn to go work at, the bank when I was growing up, and they might have like a tie or they have a little buckle, no socks, or they have the little no-show socks. That is a whole other thing. If you take off your shoe and you're wearing like the little like tiny no-show sock and you've like slipped them out of your loafer, it's horrifying. Horrible. That's just a pet peeve of mine. Maybe that's my hot take.
It sounds like that gives you the ick.
It does.
What else gives women the ick?
I think it's different for every woman. And I think that the ick thing bothers me because I think icks are just a normal part of like life. Like, everybody has like a thing that's like, okay, I don't want you to do that. Like, that just weirds me out. But I grew to a point on social media, and I think this just is like social contagion and it like spiraling, and who knows how the implications that it actually had in the real world, but where people would be like posting videos of their boyfriend doing like a normal thing, being like, oh, I have the ick. I'm like, and girls in the comments saying, oh my gosh, you have to break up with him. Like, one girl said, I remember watching a video and she was like, my boyfriend walking up a hill gives me the ick.
Is it just like how he walks?
Yeah, something like that. It's
like
just like something, whatever. But I also think it's like, when you love somebody and you're in a committed relationship, it's like you might see things that are, kind of funny. Like, I do things all the time that I know Alex is like, he's more of a neat freak than I am. I don't even want to say neat freak. He's just like, everything has a place and I'm going to pick everything up. And I'm a little more, bleh. And there are things I do that I know he's like, this is like, how, like, why does this woman do this? But I don't think he would call it an ick. And there are certainly things that he does that I'll just kind of like giggle at, where I'm like, you're really going to wear like whatever he wears. And this is like a totally normal thing. But when he goes to the gym in like the winter and he has like the leggings on and he like pulls his socks like all the way up over the leggings or whatever. And I'm just like, that kind of looks funny. And he's like, who am I trying to impress? Like, I'm married. It doesn't matter. I don't really care because I love him and we're married. But yeah, I think it's very weird random things for women. Like the ones that I've seen, like walking uphill, talking to a waiter, buying, like a girl said that it was like an ick, like the way her husband like scanned thing at this like at the self-checkout line. Like it's so weird.
To me, that seems like they're just looking for things.
Yeah, and
like,
again, that's like the social contagion part of like, then it became something like you wanted to look for it and secretly film your spouse, which I have another just major problem with, of people, both husbands and wives, significant others of either gender, like filming your spouse and then putting them online and like laughing about them in a public way. And it could be as simple as like, I think there's sometimes where it's like very good natured and you're laughing and having a good time and that's totally fine. Where you're like posting him walking up a hill and it's like, oh, this is so gross. Then you have like millions of people, because some of these videos go viral and the comments are like, oh my God, he's so weird, whatever. It's like, you might be laughing, but it can't feel good to like have that happen. And then on like a higher
He's going to be so insecure every time he walks up a hill.
And it's like, that's not necessarily like, you want to be like supporting and encouraging your significant other. That's another, and then that kind of goes into this other thing of, it's a very common thing to see women crap on their husbands or their boyfriends online. Like, women will like make a video and be like, oh, my husband did this, whatever. Why are you posting that on TikTok? Like, go speak to him or call your mom if you need to talk to somebody about something, rather than...
There was the one that Matt Walsh just posted, right? About the lady talking about the almost divorcing her husband.
Yeah.
Who was like perfect on paper, but he didn't attune to her mental load of
with
doing
housework.
Things, with housework.
And when you get to like when you get past the like 2.5 minute mark of the video and she's kind of talking about how they worked through it, the video is kind of, it's like, okay, I get what you're trying to say. Like, you were both working, you felt like you were taking on more at the home, whatever. But she started it by being like, I almost divorced my husband. He wasn't doing this. He wasn't whatever. Where it was like the video, and maybe this is just because people are chasing clicks and virality or whatever. And it's like, you could have just said, in a marriage, it's really important to understand the workload that both of you are taking on and to have open communication. This is something my husband and I struggled with. And, he really has done a great job.
But that wouldn't have gotten clicks.
No, it wouldn't have.
So you had to, like, from an algorithm standpoint, her video was perfect. It was triggered right from the beginning.
And she does a lot of those videos. I've like seen a bunch of her stuff, and you never see her husband. Her husband's never on screen. And unfortunately, a huge majority of her videos are about him and all the problems that they've had in their relationship. Now, it seems like they're doing pretty well, but it's...
It seems like they're doing
I would
fine.
hate to
I know,
be that guy.
Well, it's because it's always like things
he
that
doesn't want to show his face anymore.
Why would he? And they're always about like, we've worked through this now, so that's why I said maybe they're doing fine. But also, I don't think I'd be fine if like Alex was online being like, God, Brett never... So I don't ever screw lids on things. That's his biggest pet peeve of like, I'll get a jar of mayo, I'll make a sandwich, I'll leave it on the counter because I don't want to put it away before. I've gotten a lot better at this, but I want to go like eat my sandwich and then I'll go back and I'll like pick everything up. But not only will I like leave it on the counter for 10 minutes, I will also leave it unscrewed. And so it might be like the protein powder or whatever, and he picks it up by the top and it like goes everywhere. And it's like, if he got online and made a whole video about like, Brett made another sandwich and she was doing this, so infuriating. She also like didn't wipe. He's somebody who, washes off his dish every single time after he eats, and I'll just like drop it in the sink. That would be, it just wouldn't feel, even if it's a small thing that I know I could do better at, and I do try, and I have gotten a lot better at it because it's just like a little thing that I can do to hopefully make his life a little bit easier. And also it's ridiculous. Like, I can take the 2 seconds to like put something away and screw it on. It wouldn't feel good to have that blasted online. And it's like, you want to uplift the person that you love both in the home and in public, but women have gotten so comfortable with this idea of ragging on men, especially their spouses, and posting about it. And again, I think that it's like, it started off as a more, a minority, but with the social contagion aspect of it gets clicks, people are interested, they feel like they have people who are people pile on and they're like, yes, I'm affirming this is exactly what it is. And you just keep going and they see the attention that they get, which I just don't think is healthy at all.